Hey y'all, I'm Brianna. The book that I read was called Mi Voz Mi Vida, which was a collection of stories from college students and about their life as Latin Americans coming into the American world. So, in summary, and in connection to the course, the book consists of different Latin American students who try to fit into the American society with their different cultural identities. It shows the struggles and challenges these students face not only at home, but in the educational realm. Coming into America, they witness a lot of biases and prejudice that come into the school environment and become an obstacle on their path to success. The characters that stood out to me the most was Robert Cotto, Angelita Urena, and Eric Martinez. Robert talked about his life growing up and how much it changed after his uncle committed suicide. It was almost as his uncle held the family together. Similar to Robert, this reminded me of myself because I am the anchor that holds the family together. My mom intended to commit suicide, and I'd never had time to feel the emotions because everyone was depending on me on the situation, which is similar to Robert. The person I closely related to was Angelita Urena, only because she is Dominican and I am Dominican as well. And she was actually a college student who saw her family as being loud and almost obnoxious, like those loud people who are just loud for no reason. You can be less than 2 inches away from them and it just sounds like they're screaming. That's what is known for a typical Dominican. So I can very much relate to her as her family was cheering her on in her graduation and being loud. My family has done the same to me. I think Dominicans take a lot of pride in the successes of their children, especially because many come into America with hope of giving their children a better future. There was one quote she said, which was, I looked at my mother knowing this was all her doing. I kissed her and gave her heartfelt thanks. That is also how I feel about my accomplishments, that I would never be where I am if it weren't for my mother, similar to Angelita. Another thing that she also spoke about was the race divisions between Dominicans. Many Dominicans believe that you, how can I say this? Many Dominicans believe that if you want to go for a man or a partner, you go for the partner with the lighter complexion, the straighter hair, the fittest body. That is ideal to them, rather than going for someone who has a bit of melanin, curlier hair. Um, yep. So similar to like Angelita said, where her mother told her, don't mess up the raza, which is don't mess up the race, pretty much. Like, don't mess up our family being with a man that is not white, ultimately. I can relate to this so much because I grew up with this. Thankfully, I don't listen to my mom that much in many things, and I have two beautiful chocolate babies. And yeah, my mom has grown out of it. I mean, I think after a few years in America, they learn like, this is not Dominican Republic. Um, but it also goes back to the Dominican history and why Dominican Republic and Haiti broke off from each other. It is very much about the white and black thing. What these characters faced as challenges was prejudice and stereotype, being raised in a poverty or lower income community, being culturally different and not fitting in, and finding their cultural identity. The opportunities that these students came out with is finding a new version of themselves, beating the odds, and gaining their education and a chance to tell their story. Um, they were able to make it through these challenges, whether it was like Eric Martinez and Robert Cotto, who came from very, very low income family. Eric Martinez, whose family did drugs, and so did Robert Cotto, and just beating the odds. What I would do to assist students that were in these situations or facing these challenges is I would help promote diversity, allowing students to open up with who they are and where they come from. I can do this in various ways, such as creating group projects in which students are placed in groups with peers that they don't often socialize. It gives them a chance to get to know everyone that's in the classroom, or studying a country and where their peer may be from, or a religion or a belief. Getting to know the other's beliefs and understanding it helps create acceptance between one another. I also seen there's a movie called Freedom Writers. Erin Gruwell, she's a famous English teacher who worked with the urban community, and she promoted a successful environment both socially and academically by doing things like allowing students to journal about anything they wanted at the beginning or the end of the day, which she ended up publishing into a book and then was made into a movie. What I've learned is that building a relationship with students and getting to know them is important when building a safe environment for all your students. Adapting your classwork to fit the student's journey through growth can also be a valuable part of their educational future. And teachers should also learn about their students' cultures and beliefs if they don't already know so. So this will help them have a better understanding of how the students learn, why are they a certain way, and their characteristics. And this is my reference page. Thank you for tuning in.